Hello, this is Bill Hitchcock, and it is Thursday, March 19th, 2020, St. Joseph's Day, when I'm recording this. So, what I'm going to be working on is the Reid Furniture store, and hopefully, you can see that screen in front of you. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make the numbers a little bit easier to read, and we'll see if we can get going. So, what I would recommend doing, save your file when you first start it up. That way, in case you have to go back and redo some of the steps, you can just reopen up that backup file that you have. So I guess I will try clicking on File, Save As. Save this as well. And we'll wait until that gets saved out on my storage space, and things should be good. All right, so first what I want to do is I want to start with task number one, do some of the initial formatting. So I'm going to select the data and adjust some of the font sizes and so on. I like to use a smaller font. I think it gives it a cleaner look. So I'm going to grab everything from cell A2 and just cursor across the screen here, hit my page down key a number of times. I'm holding my shift key as I'm doing this. Let's keep hitting page down. I'm going to go past a number of rows. It'll be fine. You know, you don't have to highlight the entire sheet, but just grab any of those areas that you might be working with. Then I'm going to click on the Home tab. Change my font size. I'll shrink this down. Let's try font size 9 and see how that works out. Actually, let's take it one more. Let's take it down to font size 8 and we'll try that. I'm also going to make sure that all the font style is the same. So, you know, again, I like to use something like either Arial, that tends to work fairly well, or the Calibri font. I think that gives a fairly clean look to it. So that's good. I'll hit Control and Home and get myself back up. And it looks as though I'm in cell A7. That's because we had clicked on the View tab and chosen Freeze Panes. I can unfreeze that and then hit Control Home, and I should go up to cell A1. Otherwise, I'll go down to cell A7, click on View, Freeze Panes, and Freeze Panes as well. And that way, as I scroll down through my data, I can still read those field names. All right, a few other things that I'm going to want to do is I want to take the field names themselves, and I'm going to highlight all of those. Click on the Home tab. Turn off the bold facing, turn it back on. That way I'm sure everything's uniform. I'm going to center these, and I'm going to click on Wrap Text and do that a couple of times just to make sure that all works. So that seemed to be good. Other things I want to check on is with my page layout, I've actually got 2 sheets in here, but in order to get the rows to repeat, I just have to do it one sheet at a time. So I'm going to choose Page Layout, choose my print titles, choose Rows to repeat at the top, and I want that particular set of rows. Cell A1 through A6, it gives you rows 1 through 6. And if I choose Print Preview, I can scroll through this quickly. And notice on each one of the pages, you can still read the title up at the top, Reid Furniture Store, and my field names. So that all looks good. All right, now that I've got that done, I might as well go ahead and set up the headers and footers. So in this case, I'm going to group both my sheets. So I'll right click on a sheet tab, choose Select All Sheets, go to the Page Layout tab, choose Print Titles, choose Header and Footer. For my custom header, I want to put in my name. Tab over to the center section, type in the name of the course. Tab over to the right section, type in date printed, colon, a space, and the date tool. Hit OK. Do the same thing for a custom footer. I'll type in the word file and a space. Use my Excel tool, which gives me the file name. I want to tab to the center. Type in the word page. Get the page number, space of the total number of pages. And finally, tab over to the right section, sheet colon and a space, and use the sheet tool, the tab tool there. And let's give this a try. We'll click on print preview. Check to see if we get everything that fits. It looks like I've got it in landscape orientation, which will probably work out better on this particular sheet, even though it means with all these data sheets it goes a little bit longer. That'll be fine because we'll add a few extra things in here and try to get everything to fit just right. And let's go to the last page. And that's got some questions and answers that you'll fill in after we get everything done. So there's my headers and footers. So I'm going to ungroup my sheets before I mess anything up. And we should be good with that. Next, what I want to do is I want to insert a new column. So I'm going to right click on column A. I'm going to take my field name and just copy that over. Type in rec number, and I'll type in 1, 2, 3 for my record numbers. And since notice that the font size looks kind of large on there, I'm just going to use the format that I've got under the amounts. Click on my Home tab, choose the Format Painter, and then Format Paint those 3 numbers. I can double click on the fill handle, and then I'll hit my end key once, my down arrow key, and I've got 107 records, so that all looks good. All right, I'll hit Control Home, narrow up this column, and we should be fine there. So let's save that. Make sure I don't mess up anything here. And just give me a minute here. I forgot to plug in my computer, so I want to make sure that I've got that done so I don't lose power here in the midst of everything. All right, I'm good. All right, let's see what else we want to do. We want to take Reid Furniture Store.